Nafisa Collier has just been suspended by the WNBA.
This is embarrassing for the WNBA.
Honestly, not going to apologize for that. I'm a competitor. I want to win. I shouldn't get over that. I should use it as fuel, which is exactly what I'm doing.
This came after she blatantly promoted her rival league, Unrivaled, during official league events.
Nafisa shamelessly self-promoted in the All-Star game draft?
Even more shocking, she and Brianna Stewart, both co-founders of that rival league, are also leading the WNBPA's ongoing contract negotiations. That's when the public snapped.
You can't be overly happy with the manner in which Napheesa Collier conducted herself during the WNBA All-Star draft.
Fans called it sabotage, and the WNBA finally followed suit before things spiraled even further out of control.
You wore your Lunar Owls Unrivaled shirt. You just wore an Unrivaled shirt.
You probably thought the WNBA All-Star Draft would be a feel-good night, a celebration of talent, a few lighthearted moments, some camaraderie and sportsmanship broadcasted on national TV. But think again, because instead of honoring the league, the players, or the fans, Collier had a different agenda.
You wore it on air, and then you mentioned the league that you co-own like 5 times in the first 15 minutes.
Right there on ESPN's broadcast, she used her airtime not to support the WNBA, but to plug her side hustle, Unrivaled, and not in passing. Not subtly. This wasn't a casual mention. This was a full-on promo blitz.
And I'm sure she thought, well, this is my way to shade the people that says there's a conflict of interest. No, it was a great way to prove everybody right.
She strutted onto the national stage wearing a massive Unrivaled t-shirt like it was a YouTube collab, not an official WNBA event. It was like showing up to a wedding in a t-shirt for your own party. Wait till you hear this.
Keep in mind, ESPN doesn't broadcast Unrivaled game at all. They've got no interest in Unrivaled blowing up because they don't have the rights to any game.
She name-dropped Unrivaled multiple times within the first 15 minutes of airtime. It felt less like a draft and more like a live infomercial. And here's the kicker. ESPN doesn't even air Unrivaled games. They have no partnership, no stake, no reason to promote it. Yet there she was, pushing it hard. It wasn't clever. It wasn't bold. It was tone-deaf. It came off like a pitch on Shark Tank, not a league event. But it gets crazier.
That was a WNBA product, and it became a promotional tool for another league. You're trying to tell me Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart have the best interest of the WNBA players?
She didn't just disrespect the league. She snubbed her own team, the Minnesota Lynx. No shout-out, no loyalty. And the Indiana Fever, the team graciously hosting the event, got zero love. She hijacked the camera to promote herself. Fans were left wondering, is this the WNBA or a commercial break for a knockoff league? And here's where things start unraveling even more.
And she gave them a middle finger by talking about the Unrivaled League. I got to give Caitlin Clark credit. That trading Cheryl Reeves hating ass off her team was beautiful.
Unrivaled was launched in 2023 with big promises of empowerment and change, but instead, it's becoming a massive liability. Let's be honest, if you're co-founding a rival league and using your current one as a marketing tool, you're not building bridges, you're burning them. It gets worse.
Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier are even involved in this. Or why are they even involved?
Collier is still cashing WNBA checks. She's still benefiting from league exposure, league sponsorships, and league credibility, while simultaneously pulling fans, advertisers, and trust away from it. That's not empowerment, that's opportunism. And here's the brutal truth.
Wearing an Unrivaled shirt for the WNBA draft, but wants to pretend there's no conflict of interest in CBA negotiations. Laugh out loud.
Unrivaled isn't even successful. Some of its games haven't broken 85,000 views. Compare that to the WNBA All-Star game, which regularly pulls in several 100,000 viewers. Yet Collier thought hijacking that platform for a half-baked side league was a smart move. And don't forget the business angle. Sponsors invest in stability, in legacy, in Polish, not in rogue stunts on live TV. Her little broadcast takeover didn't scream disruptor, it screamed PR liability. Brands aren't paying for airtime just to be dragged into someone else's side project. Here's another layer.
We still pretending the WNBA doesn't have a conflict of interest with Unrivaled after Nafisa shamelessly self-promoted in the All-Star game draft?
All of this unfolded while the WNBA is in the middle of negotiating major changes, like expanding to 50 games, growing team rosters, and landing bigger media deals. So, What does Collier do? She goes rogue. She distracts from progress and makes everything look fractured, chaotic, and unpredictable. Exactly what the league doesn't need when trying to grow. And the hypocrisy? Off the charts.
Fee sat on ESPN and pushed Unrivaled propaganda for 30 straight minutes, but there's no conflict of interest.
She's out here using national coverage to boost her brand, claiming she's loyal to the WNBA the whole time. But actions speak louder than hashtags. And her actions were all about herself. Let's be real. This wasn't some trailblazing moment of empowerment. This was ego, pure and simple. Collier wasn't there to rep the league. She was there to boost her side business. She used a WNBA-sponsored event like it was a trade show for her personal brand. Now imagine this. What if Tom Brady had co-founded a competing football league while still playing for the Patriots and then strolled into NFL contract talks claiming he had everyone's best interest at heart? You'd laugh him off the stage. Yet somehow, in the WNBA, that circus act is not only tolerated, it's leading the negotiation table. And it gets even more tangled.
The owners came back with an offer, and Satou Sabali said it was a slap in the face. Brianna Stewart echoed that sentiment on Thursday by saying it felt like the players were, quote, ignored.
If WNBPA negotiations fall apart and a lockout happens, guess who benefits? You guessed it, Unrivaled, the very league Collier and Stewart created. It's like putting two foxes in charge of the henhouse and acting shocked when feathers fly. Recently, owners proposed a new CBA. Players like Satou Sabali called it disrespectful. Brianna Stewart said it ignored everything they fought for. Maybe that's true. But when the loudest critics are the same people who would benefit from the WNBA collapsing, you have to question the motives. And fans are starting to notice.
This is a screenshot. That right there is an Unrivaled shirt. That's an Unrivaled logo.
After Collier's stunt at the All-Star draft, social media lit up. Screenshots of her oversized Unrivaled shirt went viral. Commentators and fans alike called it out for what it was, a brand stunt disguised as leadership. Some joked she might roll out a promo code mid-game or start selling Unrivaled merch courtside. Others were less playful, calling her arrogant, unprofessional, and out of touch. One fan summed it up perfectly. It's like setting your job application on fire during the interview.
So it shouldn't be surprising that these players have decided to allow Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart to be.
And the damage didn't stop with her. This drama also highlighted the glaring absence of the one person who's actually driving league growth, Caitlin Clark. While Collier and Stewart are turning union talks into an Unrivaled promo tour, Clark, the league's breakout star, is barely involved in leadership decisions. Let's not sugarcoat this. Collier and Stewart aren't advocating for players. They're advancing their own agenda. They've turned the WNBPA into a launch pad for their side league, while the actual stars of the sport get sidelined in the conversation. And here's where the double standards roar.
Keep in mind, ESPN doesn't broadcast Unrivaled game at all. They've got no interest in Unrivaled blowing up because they don't have the rights to any game.
If Caitlin Clark had done what Collier just pulled, she'd be dragged for being selfish, for thinking she's bigger than the game. But Collier? She's labeled brave, empowered, visionary. That's not empowerment. That's a closed circle protecting its own. Let's call it what it is. This isn't a union anymore. It's a clique. But wait, there's more. The longer this dynamic goes unchecked, the more damage it does to the WNBA's reputation with networks, sponsors, and casual fans alike.
And she gave them a middle finger by talking about the Unrivaled League. I got to give Caitlin Clark credit. That trading Cheryl Reeves hating ass off her team was beautiful.
How can anyone take the league's vision seriously when two of its most powerful players are openly pulling it in a different direction? And yet, the media narrative stays surprisingly quiet, almost protective. Why? Because criticizing Collier or Stewart would mean confronting the uncomfortable truth that power and accountability aren't always aligned.
The owners came back with an offer, and Satou Sabali said it was a slap in the face. Brianna Stewart echoed that sentiment on Thursday by saying it felt like the players were, quote, ignored.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, arguably the most impactful player the league has seen in years, is stuck playing from the sidelines of these negotiations. No real voice, no seat at the table, despite drawing millions of eyeballs and elevating every single broadcast she's in.
Her being on the CBA negotiations is not a conflict of interest, given she spent a half an hour pushing Unrivaled during the WNBA draft, shaking my head.
And that silence? It's getting louder. Fans are noticing, commentators are whispering, and the foundation is starting to crack. This isn't just about a shirt or a soundbite. It's about direction, it's about trust, and it's about whether the people in charge of guiding this league forward are really doing it for the right reasons.